Breaking today, the State Department is ordering non-emergency government personnel at the U.S. Embassy in Beirut to get out. And that comes as the U.S. continues to beef up military assets in the Middle East amid peace talks with Iran. Now, those talks are set to resume on Thursday in Geneva. U.S. officials are pushing for a deal on Iran's nuclear program. Here's what the Iranian foreign minister told CBS News' Margaret Brennan when asked about that and about the military buildup in the Middle East.
If they want to find a resolution for Iran's peaceful nuclear program, the only way is diplomacy. And we have proved this in the past, and I believe that still there is a good chance to have a diplomatic solution which is based on a win-win game, and a solution is at our reach. So there is no need for any military buildup, and military buildup cannot help it and cannot pressurize us.
Now let's bring in retired Colonel and Senior Advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Mark Cancian. Mark, thank you for your time. What are your thoughts on that response from the Iranian Foreign Minister?
Well, the two sides are very far apart. The United States, for decades, has demanded that the Iranians not produce nuclear weapons, not enrich uranium. And they've also demanded that the Iranians stop their ballistic missile programs, which can strike far into the region and even into Europe. The Iranians, on the other hand, have demanded that they have the right to enrich uranium and to build these programs, and also to supply their proxies in the region, despite the words of the foreign ambassador, foreign minister about diplomacy. There just doesn't seem to be any common ground.
So based on what you know and based on what you've seen in your experience, just how significant is this military buildup?
Well, it's quite significant. It's a bit larger than what we saw in the Caribbean before the strike on Venezuela. It's a bit larger than what we saw last year with Midnight Hammer, about the same size as in the 1990s when the Clinton administration struck Iraqi nuclear facilities. So I would expect something like that to come out of this concentration. It's not as large as what we saw in Desert Storm 1991 or in the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Those were much, much larger.
So, Mark, any chance at all that Iran can avoid some strike or some sort of military conflict with the United States? Any chance?
Well, of course, we hope that that might be the case, but just listening to the two sides, there doesn't seem to be any common ground. The United States has put in place the forces needed for a pretty intense punitive strike on Iran to push them onto the negotiating table and to make some concessions. Those forces will be ready, I think, in a couple of days, maybe a week. Then we'll see what happens. But I expect that the United States will conduct a strike.
Ooh, okay. Mark Cancian, thank you for your time today. We appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course.